Lagers, Pilsners, India Pale Ales, double IPAs, Doppelbocks, Belgian Goldens. That's right, it's all here on another round of Brewsday Tuesday. Here's DreZ and Big Nate.
They're not all right here on this round, but that'd be nice. That'd be a big show. It is Brewsday Tuesday, brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store in downtown Blacksburg. Fabulous place to go grab some delicious beers, some great food as well. And of course, you can also talk Mikey's ear off about music, movies, all sorts of fun stuff.
Last time I was in there, I was wearing just some nondescript. It's DCHeavyMetal.com. It was a heavy metal website that existed back in the day. It may still, but they had made it like one of the Mayhem album covers. And he was trying to decipher. He's like, I've seen every Mayhem album cover, but I've never seen that one. I was like, that's because it's not Mayhem, it's DC Heavy Metal. But dude definitely knows his music.
He knows his stuff, man. There's no doubt about that.
And his beer.
Oh, yeah, without question. So we are just still sipping on some brews from the Veil. The first round, it was a double beer. That's what you had, a double IPA. I had a double dry hopped IPA. This round, you have a double dry hopped double IPA. And I actually have a triple dry hopped double IPA. This one is called Eternal Shredder 3, which I'm guessing that means maybe this is like their third version of it or so. And on the board at the Veil that I took a snapshot of, so we were able to pick our beers. By the way, great way to do it instead of having to walk up to the the bar and stare at it a long time. You can just take a picture. You have a phone that has a camera capability. Just take a picture of it so that while you're sitting down drinking your beer, you can just pull it up and look and see what's there. It says triple dry hopped DIPA version of our house beer, MP IPA Master Shredder. I figured I saw the shredder.
Is there a turtle on there?
No, there's not. But when you look at the shredder font, I was like, oh, this must be a Ninja Turtles reference. And sure enough, that just did confirm it, which is already probably moving this up a little hair. Even if the beer's not a 5, that certainly helps because it's also a purple label, which for those of you that are around our age that might be big into the Ninja Turtles, which I was, of course. Yeah, Shredder. Shredder was badass. Man, I should be Shredder for Halloween. That'd be a good one. No turtles, just me solo.
Shredder.
You would think it would be like, oh, okay. Oh, we got 6 people in our group, but we want to be the turtles. We'll have an April. We'll have a Casey Jones. I always wanted to be Casey Jones. I never did that.
I know a guy down in Florida who that's his whole thing is he cosplays as Casey Jones. Like that's his job. And I was like, is there really enough demand for that? Like, are your bills paid? Dude seems to be doing all right in life.
Was he in Orlando?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But
you can get away with that there.
Casey Jones is such a like one of the turtles. You could probably do all right, but that was a interesting choice.
Yeah.
Shredder. Nobody does Shredder right. I think you could do it.
Shredder is, but I feel like I'd be a better Casey Jones than a Shredder. Yeah, let's be honest. I mean,
Shredder doesn't have to talk much though. And you're kind of a social creature. So yeah, I think maybe Casey would
Jones,
be the choice for
It'd be an easier costume too, for sure.
So this the one I've got, it's the Veil's Merciless. It's a double dry hop, double India Pale Ale, 8% ABV, and I'll let you read the notes, and then I want to talk about this label for a second.
I will. By the way, mine was an 8.5 ABV, so sorry I didn't mention that. Merciless, 8%, as you mentioned, double dry hopped DIPA, brewed with raw meat. I'm just kidding. Raw wheat. Malted. I got the M from the malt. Malted wheat, oats, and piles of fresh Citra, Galaxy, Simcoe, and Vic Secret.
Okay.
I'm guessing those are all hops.
Victoria's Secret hops?
That's what it sounds like. I'm not sure I'm familiar with a Vic Secret hops, but It doesn't surprise me. They got to come up with names for all these different hops. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I'm gonna become a hop farmer and
I
just
mean,
start giving them ridiculous names.
I mean, is that what it is? Is
There's
it just
poodle,
like
too.
strains of weed and like different types of apples? Like when it comes to apples, you got your Granny Smiths, you got your Brayburns and all that. Is it based on the region or whatever, or is it that actual like seed and that kind?
I
And is
think
hops a similar sort of thing?
well, hops and cannabis are like pretty closely related, but I think if you grow the first batch of it, I think you get to name it, right? Like, is there
How
a
is it-
registry
how is
like
it the
stars?
first batch? How is it a first batch? Is it because you like breed two
Yeah, it's
strains?
cross pollinated.
Okay.
It's all like it's that whole thing where you see the trend with people wanting like I only want non-GMOs. Well, genetically modified, that's any cross pollination or cross breeding. Like everything you're eating has GMOs just naturally. Like if you look at a banana from the 50s and a banana now, they used to have seeds in them. Imagine biting into a banana filled with seeds. That's a GMO.
That's also a great band name, Banana Seed.
Banana seeds? Yes.
I'm seeing them live next weekend. The Banana
Straight
Seeds.
punk. So
Banana Seeds are playing.
it is fascinating, and I don't know exactly how, like, if there's a registry where you
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
like I know how band names usually work. It's usually something personal to the band, or they enter it in some online generator on MySpace, but it is fascinating. This this label is most fascinating.
I couldn't
because
quite discern that.
if you're watching it
I
on
just saw it
video-
and it looked interesting, so I threw it your way. If you're watching, Facebook Live, YouTube, of course, you can catch Brewsday Tuesday.
It is. I can't see its tail, so I don't know. I'm gonna assume it's a rattlesnake because that's the coolest thing about it. Biting someone's big toe, and it looks like a female big toe. I'm not an expert. Again,
Would you say that rattlesnake would be merciless?
I would say definitely merciless, but it looks like one of the like back in the late 80s, early 90s when all the black metal bands were burning down churches and putting out their albums and killing each other. One of the album covers they would have put out. So I'm gonna officially call this the black metal beer from the Veil.
The Veil is pretty, and that's another reason I like them because it's reminiscent of. I gravitate towards that. If a brewery has first and foremost, you got to have good beer. But if then they also have cool vibe, like dark metal vibes, obviously we've mentioned it numerous times. I am a huge fan of if you ever do get down to the Asheville area and stuff, and I guess also in Raleigh, which I've still yet to be to the Raleigh location. Need to go there, but Burial is fantastic. The Veil comes to mind. They're not super metal, but they're cool enough. I mean, recycle or die. They got and skulls are.
And they've made their own recycling logo.
Mm-hmm.
And the skull with the recycling emblem on. Love it.
Yeah, I do love that as well. So yeah, great beer and metal. I think they go hand in hand. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Which another part of bringing up collaborations, all those, there's a lot of bands that are collaborating with breweries and putting out beers. I would love to see more of that available at shows. I think we talked about this before. It's too difficult to tour around and bring the beer behind you as well. You got enough gear and you're hauling,
but the logistics of it, like, how perfect would it be to like have one of Iron Maiden's beers while they're on stage, or Deftones beers while they're on stage?
And think of how outrageous they already charge for beers.
Yeah, they're definitely going to mark it up.
If you're having to pay, I mean, let's be honest. Like, what do they charge? $8-9 for like a Bud Light. How much more would you pay to have a Trooper IPA?
Yep.
I mean, you could probably damn near double the price and people would pay it because you're at the show.
It would go over like so very well. I mean,
gangbusters.
I was trying to avoid saying gangbusters, but yeah, absolutely it would. And you would definitely make your return on investment, I think, pretty quickly. I mean, I obviously don't work in logistics and don't deal with long distance hauling of government controlled
Yeah,
beverages.
it seems like, that would be something you wouldn't have to tour around with it. It's just, you could, with whatever beer distributor, have it prepared, have it already there at the shows. Yeah, I don't know.
Even throw it in your meet and greet packages. I always see like Iron Maiden does meet and greet packages. Troopers never mentioned. Throw it on there. Throw
Or
it in
even
there.
if you did want to, I mean, maybe it would be, I guess there's more logistics and legalities with it, but maybe instead of even having it readily available at all the concourses, you could even have it at the merch.
Yeah.
Just like a 4-pack or a 6-pack of whatever. But then, then it could get out of hand probably pretty quick if it went that route. I don't know. But so I'm trying to remember what else I want. Oh, so the Veil. All right. So we went to this Forest Hills location, and the first beer that I got the Mountain 3. And I like always, when I go to a brewery or location, I pull up the Untapped app, which is a pretty handy way to keep track of beers and get an idea of its quality and stuff. DreZ Drinks is my handle. Big Nate Danger across from me. That's how we rate our beers and stuff. Fantastic resource to use. And usually when you're looking at the Untapped app, if anything is above a 4, that's a really good beer.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to want to get. The Veil, most of them are above a 4. So I'm looking at I'm just kind of quickly typing in, because unfortunately it must not have been a verified venue, or I didn't think about it, but I was typing them all up and I was looking at it. And so I was like, okay, well, Mountain's got the best rating. It was like a 4.3 or 2, something, or whatever. I get it and I sip it, and I am immediately disappointed. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is not good. This is not. And Huck, even, because once I untapped it, Huck mentioned, I was like, this is probably the worst Veil beer I've ever had. And his comment was, damn. But I looked at it. This was Mountain 3. And the score that I had looked up, I just looked up Mountain. So you got to be careful with that. I guess there's different variations and stuff, different years of different beers and whatnot. And then once I found the Mountain 3, sure enough, it wasn't even a 4.
So knowing what I know about you and knowing what I know about movies, you went in expecting Godfather Part 1 and you got Part 3.
That's exactly what happened. You hit the nail on the head there, sir. You really did. I can't think of a better analogy. Yep. I wanted Godfather. I was expecting Godfather 1, and I got Godfather 3. And I was a big Francis Ford Coppola fan, I was a big fan of his movies and his work, but man, it was disappointing. So, and I looked at it, and here's the thing. I was trying to figure out why it wasn't sitting well with me. And I'll give you the description for the Mountain 3. Oat double IPA, triple dry hopped with Citra, Idaho 7, Galaxy, and Motica. That one I'm not for. I've had the Idaho 7. I've had all the other ones, but I am not familiar with the Motica hops, I guess. So I was kind of pointing the finger and circling that one.
Call back to earlier. The names are all made up, and who the hell knows what they did to that?
But if it's an
if
ingredient that you don't
circle
enjoy,
exactly.
Like,
you can process of elimination.
Same thing with the lactose. Once I figured out that I'm not a big fan of lactose beers, if you're torn between and trying to pick out beers, if one has lactose, one doesn't, I lean the other way.
So I've got to ask though, if this were a brewery that you're not necessarily a big fan of, or you're walking into for the first time, would it have still been like, this is not going to work for me?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I think you're right. I think maybe I do have the Veil like up on this pedestal or something. It was, and I think it still ended up getting, I mean, I guess I could look it up, but maybe a 4. Like, it still wasn't terrible, but from what I'm used to.
It
from
sounds
the
like you
Veil.
gave them a pity 4.
Mm,
It sounds like you gave them the 4 because you felt obligated to because you're a fan.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think it was just because I was excited. New location, finally getting back to the Veil. I hadn't been there in a while. I really wanted a beer. We had done a big run. It I wanted it to be amazing, and it just wasn't. So
Okay.
it was and when I say, honestly, maybe I was even harsher. I was probably, I mean, I'm pulling the 4 out of my ass. I don't remember exactly what I gave it. I guess I
Yeah,
can look it up
we
right
we
now.
really need to get like charts with like check marks to scientifically do this, but it does. Like I always try and gauge things based on the circumstances, and if you weren't feeling it that day, I mean,
Trying to look it up. And I can't even spell.
Motica,
How do I before E except after C?
and every other day in May, and when it's in the word way.
Mountain 3. Here it is. I gave it. Oh, okay. No, I gave it a 3.25.
Okay, there we go. That
Yeah.
sounds more realistic.
And honestly, she makes this face a lot, but there's BB trying it. And I posted that because that's about how I felt trying it as well. That was not a good beer. It was
Okay.
3.25. 3.25 is not a good
So
beer.
third time's not the charm.
No.
Hopefully they hear us and they know it. But it looks like
That
the
being
one you
said-
have.
That being said, the Shredder, third. Fantastic. This is more of the Veil beer you're looking for, baby. Look at that. Look at that lacing. It went down so easy. Of course,
So that's Return of the Jedi.
I'm a little bit, yeah, exactly. Which, honestly, Empire. I wish.
Empire was
where are
the
the
red room.
twos? Where's the square?
There was no Ewoks in Empire.
But no, Shredder. It's Eternal Shredder 3. That's a good one. This is a 5. This is a great beer. Just delicious. The triple dry hopped. I guess I'm chalking it up to that weird hop. I'm
Motica?
thinking that's what it was.
I
How
want
you
to-
feeling with yours?
I'll
I'm
keep
looking
an
forward to
eye
trying
on
it. We need to get this show on the road.
This is one of those where the label is going to boost it up. This is a delicious beer. It's crisp. It's refreshing. It's everything you accept. I mean, once you double dry hop something, it's going to be it's fresh. It's almost like you're drinking the forest. It's something that will deceptively fool you into thinking, yeah, I'm good to run that half marathon tomorrow, when in all actuality you are not, because you just had several 8% beers in a row. 4.75 for the beer. The label is going to bump it up another quarter. It's
I'm
a
glad you
5.
specified how it got there, but
It's a 5.
so 3 out of 4 were 5s. So that's not too shabby. The Veil, still a fantastic brewery. I'm not trying to dog it and
No,
whatever.
great work.
I'm just saying maybe there might even be better breweries out there. Case in point, next week's Brewsday Tuesday. Granted, I was already greased up from the Veil, but I went somewhere and it was fantastic. So I brought back some beers. We'll try them. We'll see. They might be coming for the crown.
The pressure is on.
It is indeed. All right. That's a wrap on Brewsday Tuesday. In fact, I think that is even a wrap on me. I'm going to step aside. JT's coming up next. You should keep listening because JT's awesome. I don't even know. I'm not used to
Just
wrapping up on
tunes.
Brewsday. Yeah, just tunes, of course, right here on 105.3 The Bear. Oh, I'll be back tomorrow with more, concert tickets, Fozzy. Oh, you got Kicks. That's cool. Coming to Roanoke as well. So
And Virginia's own Red Rain.
yeah. Don't forget. Of course, it is all tomorrow afternoon on 105.3 The Bear. Listen.